Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. And here for your coffee chat today, I want to share with you what diastasis recti is, to see if you have it, how to prevent it, and or how to fix it. So I think in today's world, diastasis recti, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you've heard it as called DR, maybe you've heard it called as abdominal separation. It's all of those things. So I just kind of want to review a little bit of what it is exactly, why it's happening to you, and how to fix it, because there is a lot of information out there on the internet today, and a lot of it is incorrect. This is also information that your OB is probably not getting to you. So it's really important for me to share this information with you, because it is something that I have suffered with, and I suffered with it for far too long before even realizing what it was. And I'm still paying the consequences of it and trying to heal it, because it is something you can heal, but it's a process, and it has to be done properly, or else you're going to do more harm than good. So diastasis recti, what is it? So in other terms, diastasis recti abdominis is, if you remember your abdominal wall, those outer walls on your stomach, like your six pack. So you have like 4 little squares, right, that go down, and there's a little separation in between, and that is just connective tissue. So the majority of people that present with diastasis recti are those who have been pregnant. However, you do not have to have had a baby to have diastasis recti. It can come maybe if you were really overweight before, and then maybe you lost a lot of weight. But anyways, so the statistics state that there's 66% of women who have had a baby suffer from diastasis. 100% of women who become pregnant and have a child will have some form of separation in the abdomen. However, it is so typically after you have a baby, your body is healing. If you still present with a separation that is 2 to 3 finger gaps beyond that 8-week period, it's not going to heal itself. So you need to take those steps in healing it. Okay, so what it is that when your body, and it typically happens during that 3rd trimester when your stomach is really going out. So it basically is just that thin sheath of, which is basically like this. So you have your abdominals, right? I'm going to stand up with a visual. Rosa, watch out, girl. My little house. Okay. So you have, pretend I should have painted on me. You have your picture squares here, right? That's your rectus abdominis. That is the 4th outermost layer of abdominals. You have 4 layers of abdominals in here. Okay. So basically your linea alba, which is where the separation occurs, is stretchy like this. Okay. That goes right down the middle, and all of your abdominals are connected to that. Okay. So what happens during pregnancy is it's stretching, it's growing. If you do not know how to contain your inter-abdominal pressure by breathing correctly, if you are doing incorrect movements like getting out of bed the wrong way, if you are lifting heavy things and not taking care of that. I'm on a video. Hold on. What do you need? Okay. If you are not properly controlling your inter-abdominal pressure, that's when this becomes more and more stretched. So it typically is about this big on everybody, right? So during pregnancy, it's going to stretch more. But if you're not controlling that pressure on the inside, it's going to stretch. Okay. So then once you have a baby, what happens is you have this stretched out tissue, and your muscles now are separated to the side, right? So that's why a lot of times new moms are like, I have this pooch. Like, I'm not feeling comfortable down here. I have this weird belly pooch. A weird belly pooch is not because you've had a baby. Yes, it could have been a result of that, but it is because your muscles are now separated. So you need to connect your mind back to your muscle to work on closing that gap and reforming that tissue and making it stronger so that your muscles will go back together. However, if you're sitting there doing crunches, and not knowing how to control your intra-abdominal pressure, what's going to happen? You're just going to keep crunching, and this is going to keep getting worse, and it's going to keep getting bigger. So it's going to cause you more pain. And so that's not the issue. And a lot of times women are just given incorrect information. So doing planks and all of those things that cause more pressure on your abdomen, think about that. It's going to just stretch it out. So it's really, in order to fix it, you really have to learn how it's a whole body issue, right? So you have to relearn how to connect your mind to your muscles. You have to learn how to breathe correctly so you can control that intra-abdominal pressure. And you have to, it really becomes a whole body solution. So your posture has an effect to it. The way that you move in everyday movements has a huge effect on it, because that is why, why it developed in the first place, because you were not making those mind-muscle connections. You were not, your posture could have been off. And everyone who becomes pregnant, your posture is going to change as your belly is growing out. So if you're not aware of that and not understanding how to properly stay proactive and fix it, then you're going to result in a diastasis. So typically women that suffer, those 66% of women who suffer from a diastasis that does not heal on its own, they suffer also from low back pain. You will suffer from pelvic floor issues, so incontinence, you might have a slight prolapse, any of those things, because it's all related to that pressure. So you think about your pelvic floor. Can I put you down? I talk with my hands. I can't help it. You think that pelvic floor, that your pelvic floor connects from here, your pelvis, all the way to your tailbone, right? So that muscle, if you're not controlling the pressure happening inside of here, then it's bulging here, and your pelvic floor is bulging in all of the wrong ways, which is going to cause it to, again, overstretch. If your pelvic floor becomes overstretched, guess what falls out of it? You have your rectum, you have your everything that comes to your bladder, all of that stuff is all connected to that linea alba, which again is connected to your pelvis, which is connected directly to your abdominis muscles. So it's like a whole body thing, which is why I'm really passionate about sharing it, because no one informed me of that. Like, I had no idea all of these things were connected. And I think as pregnant women, we are birthing children into this world, and no one takes the time to sit down with us and say, yo, so you're pregnant. This is what the change is happening in your body. And this is what you have to do so you can stay proactive and have the best pregnancy possible, and then have the best recovery possible after. So I need a drink of water. So if you've had a baby, or if you are pregnant, you can check to see if you have it, but it depends where you are in your pregnancy. And if you're pregnant, I wouldn't so much worry about checking to see if you have it. I would just automatically start now in controlling your intra-abdominal pressure and working that TVA, that corset muscle, your deepest core muscle, and just being cautious of the movements that you make, checking your posture and all of that, strengthening your pelvic floor. But if you've had a baby and you want to see if you have DR, one, you can ask your OB or go see a physical therapist. They will check for you. But if you don't have that availability right now, you lie on your back, okay, and you put your knees up. I can't do it on here and show you. But you lie on your back, put your knees up, and you get ready like you're going to do a crunch, okay? And you do that flexion. And then you're going to stick your fingers, and you're just going to feel down that wall. So typically where diastasis happens is around the belly button, and maybe if your belly button is still protruding, you have a little bit of a hernia. So you're going to feel a gap here. So you check this way. So it can happen here in your belly button area. It can happen below. It can happen just above, or it can happen all the way up. Okay. So that's how you can check. And you want to check it with your fingers this way. And then you want to check it this way and feel if you can feel how tight that fascia is. Okay. So you want, because if you can really stick your fingers in deep, then you have some serious connecting that you need to do. And closing that fascia and rebuilding that fascia, because it's really that mind-body connection. And maybe you have a decent tension, but you just are dealing with a gap. So again, it's just creating that mind-body connection so you can bring those muscles back together. And I think I covered everything I needed to, like what it is, how to heal it. Oh, so I did want to bring this up quickly though. It's really important to be wary, like if you start going to see a physical trainer, like at a gym, or if you start doing workouts that you might have done before, it's just really important to understand that there's a lot of physical trainers out there that are not being taught this information, and it's no harm to them. They're just not being given the proper information, the proper access of it. So, sorry, that just froze. So, what was I saying? Sorry, my other live stream is now frozen. I don't know what to do about it. So it's just really important when you're talking to somebody at the gym or doing those types of things, it's very important to talk to them and say, do you have experience with diastasis? Are you experienced with this? Do you know the right way to help me connect back to my deep core? Because that's the information that you want to get, okay? And the next thing I wanted to share was, what was it now? I've totally lost my train of thought because of this whole live stream thing, and people are telling me I'm frozen. I'm sorry that I'm frozen. How to check, what to avoid. So yes, the other thing, avoiding, there's certain things that you can avoid to prevent it. So if you're pregnant now, again, it's all those movements that are gonna cause that extra intra-abdominal pressure. So if you're like trying to do planks or push-ups and you can't control your pressure, you're going to see this doming, this coning along your midline. And so that means you're not controlling your intra-abdominal pressure, so stop. Okay? Or if you're lifting heavy, like if you're doing a heavy overhead weight or something and you go up and you see that coning happen, you need to stop. Also, literally just getting out of bed. If you should go onto your side and such like that, because if you're rolling out of bed the wrong way, you might see that coning. So that's all putting unneeded pressure. So it's in those times where you need to learn how to control it. So the other thing too, that's why I created my Core Restore program, because it walks you through those steps of rehabbing. So it teaches you, how do I need to realign my posture? How do I need to go throughout my functional movements of the day in a proper way? How do I control my intra-abdominal pressure? All through your breathing. How do I start making that mind-muscle connection again? So that really is why I shared. So I'm going to post below. I have another blog that kind of goes over some things, exercising during pregnancy and after. And then this, I'm typing up for you also in a blog post, this Diastasis Recti. So stay tuned to that. I will share that link with you, because all the information I just talked about will be right there for you. And if you have not accessed, you can reach this through my blog post. I have a Core Connections course. It's free. It's 4 simple modules, but it teaches you how to breathe so you can start controlling that intra-abdominal pressure. So I really want that to be available to you also. You can start doing that on your own. So feel free to check that out. I hope this was helpful, and I hope to see you all again soon. So stay tuned. If you have questions, please reach out to me. You can email me at hello@caitlinspano.co, or feel free to find me on social media and reach out that way. I hope you have a great day. Peace.